here with the recently announced Fear for the Xbox 360.
That is correct.
That's crazy.
So what Fear stands for is First Encounter Assault Recon, and basically what that is, it's a first responder unit that's concerned with paranormal threats to national security. And basically, Fear the game is all about fast-paced, close quarters combat. It's the designers have always wanted you to feel like you're in an action movie. What this mode is instant action, and part of what this mode showcases is the Fear AI. We got a lot of praise in reviews about how the AI worked, and in my opinion, it's some of the best AI in a first-person shooter ever. Well, honestly, the Xbox 360 is definitely up to the task. I mean, what you're seeing in terms of the gameplay and how quick it's running, and basically we have all the bells and whistles turned up from the PC version, and here it is running on the 360.
Why should he get it for the Xbox 360?
Because you can sit on the couch with your buddy and play some Fear.
Justice League Heroes.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
I'll give you a little bit of an introduction to the story. A mysterious meteorite has crash-landed on Earth, but it's radiating an energy signature that only one intelligence in the entire universe can hear.
Okay.
And that one intelligence happens to be Brainiac. And this meteor calls to him, it whispers to him, it draws Brainiac in, and it basically says, I can give you unlimited knowledge to use and wield to bend civilizations to your will. All you need to do is break into the watchtower, get a little something for me, and unlock the secrets of the meteor. While we are based on the comics, and this is a comic-based game, Dwayne McDuffie, who wrote a lot of the Justice League episodes, Justice League Unlimited, was also a producer on the show, wrote our story. And he came in and really understand active storytelling. We don't have any scrolling through text boxes. We really tried to ditch that. We tried to ditch heroes needing potions to be super. What we really needed was a story that moved quickly and kept you engaged. And Dwayne McDuffie came on board and he supplied that to us.
Who do you have in this game?
In this game, we have
the core.
The core 7
right.
are Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Zatanna. You can switch characters at any time in the game. So when you're playing by yourself, you can real-time character switch to the other character on screen. And we're going to give you the best single-player and co-op experience that you can get on your current generation hardware. We're not ditching the 5th generation engine. We're giving you it at its highest potential.
Now, what's the release date and which consoles? Again,
Fall.
We just wanted to make this really great game about rocking out, and I don't know what happened after that. We really want to do rock right, and so the response has been strong. So now it's about really working out the terms and getting in some of the bigger bands into the game.
And here you are with Guitar Hero 2.
Yes.
Let's rock. Can you tell us, please, what has been added to Guitar Hero 2?
Well, it's been interesting because after Guitar Hero 1, everybody got crazy, and they just kept on badgering us about one word. They said more. I want more, 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 more.
Nice.
And so what does more mean, So we defined it different ways. We said more songs.
Yes.
More characters.
Yes.
More venues.
Yes.
More player modes.
Oh, nice.
So the big player mode that we really got in the game that we're really proud of is a cooperation mode or co-op mode, where instead of sharing one guitar stream, we're actually putting 2 guitar streams in the game. So the game is always going to be about you being the lead guitarist in a rock and roll band, but in co-op mode, you know what happens is your second player, he's playing another stream. It's a totally different instrument. The thing that I'm really excited about is the very fact that you have a different guitar stream. Effectively, you have twice the content to learn in the game. Single player will always be about being the lead guitarist, but in co-op, you really can, learn the other side.
Cool. When is Guitar Hero 2 coming out?
November.
November. Do you have a day?
I can't say.
All right. Day and date, PlayStation 3. It's a PlayStation 3 launch title. You can say that. All right. I'll just put the words out of your mouth.
Yeah, no announcement yet.
All right, cool.
You know how it goes.
Company Heroes is Relic Entertainment's next generation World War II RTS, and And we're calling it Next Generation because we're focusing on 3 key areas to sort of advance RTS gameplay. And that is real soldiers, real battlefields, and real war. So you have a level of squad AI that you haven't seen in an RTS before. Our squads are fully aware of the environment. So they're walking down the road, they come under fire, they're going to jump into craters, hide behind walls. And the reason we do this is we want the player to feel like commanding real soldiers and really thinking about battlefield decisions and not necessarily babysitting their troops. Now, real battlefields, everything in Company Heroes is destroyable. Like from the craters, from the crates on the crates, walls, everything. And what this allows us to do is bring a level of environmental strategy into the RTS genre. So the first time our maps are not a series of choke points, but fully dynamic environments, like a living, breathing battlefield. So environmental strategy basically allows the player to sort of read the battlefield and sort of use it to their advantage. So we have a lot of really cool examples. Like one of them, and you can actually see it at our E3 booth right now, is basically in our game, a 30-ton Sherman tank shouldn't be stopped by a simple stone wall. So in our game, you can actually use your tanks to smash through walls and actually flank enemy positions. And what this does is really open up the battlefield for the player. Like all of a sudden, they start thinking about all these different possibilities they can try to exploit. And actually, victory in Company Heroes is all about using the environment to your advantage. We spent a lot of time making sure that when players are commanding their basic rifleman squad, that they actually look like and they actually start behaving like real soldiers. So you're going to see, like, when you give your squad a basic right-click command to move up a road, you're going to see them leapfrog. You're going to see them scanning for targets. You're going to see them sort of being fully aware of the environment. Again, our goal has always been authenticity, but our underlying goal is we want to make a really fun game, you know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we ignore authenticity or we take liberties, but it's most of the time they sort of mesh really well together.
So the game is Company of Heroes. It's currently only on PC, but we have plans or hopes. We're hoping to hear more about that.
Yeah.
When is it coming out?
It comes out fall 2006.
Fall 2006. So keep your eye tuned.
The story starts, Sam has lost his daughter, and not through any sort of mastermind taking her out. She just dies in a car accident.
Okay.
Sort of, you know, and he basically spirals down into a bit of a depression and decides to take on the role of being an NOC agent, which is the deepest form of cover you can get. And he's actually placed at the point where he has to live, exist, and take down a terrorist cell unit from within. You can do what's right by the NSA, what's right by the terrorists. Of course, most of the time, they conflict. And it's really going to be up to the player, from small choices up to big, which they choose and how they play the game. We've got a whole trust system. So the terrorists trust you and NSA trust you. And it's balancing both those trusts. And it's up to the player. I mean, Sam Fisher has a character and how he carries himself across.
Right.
But what type of Sam Fisher you decide to be is up to you. So the player's left in a lot of situations, maybe not even sure if it's the best course of action for the terrorists or the NSA.
Wait, so is Lambert always going to tell you to do something good, or will he be like, hey, do this because then you'll win them over? I mean, will he help you, or?
That way, Lambert will of course help you, but the depth of that answer I'm going to let you see when you play the game.
Right.
This
So
is
now-
one of the new moves where
wow.
Sam Fisher grabs characters from
very
under
cool.
the ice and stabs them.
We got some new moves in here. What about gear? And is there new gear? Is there old gear? What's coming on?
Yeah, well, one thing you'll notice about Sam Fisher in Kinshasa that Julian's playing right now is that he doesn't have his goggles anymore. Now, a lot of fans may be upset at that, but don't worry, some levels he does have them. We have a new vision mode, which we're going to keep secret for the moment. I mean, another thing here that's seen here is, of course, Julian is playing one possible route. I
so there's
I can
multiple
see
routes.
5 ways to get around this area.
Oh, wow. Let's see. When's it coming out on the Xbox 360?
September.
September of this year. All right.
So
thank
that means
you guys.
I'll have no more sleep. So,
So it's no sleeping from now until then. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for bringing us by. Please stay.
It's a third-person tactical action horror game is the way we like to sort of summarize it into one sentence.
Right.
But it's really about stop and pop. It's this idea of taking cover and using tactics and flanking to really have a really good experience. And so that's not run and gun. You need to actually take cover. There's no circle strafing. It's about getting the
Right.
right position, popping up out of cover, and eliminating the enemy.
Speaking of blood,
Yes. There's a little bit, just
there's
a little bit.
There's a little bit of blood in
blood.
this game. That's so cool. Like we were watching the press conference, we're like, oh, it's hell of blood. If I may use a Californiaism. How is the mood? Is it like fast? Is it scary? Is it both?
Yeah, it's a mixture, really. I mean, as you see from any of the things you've seen in our trailer versus what you're seeing in the gameplay, I mean, we have a theme that we call Destroyed Beauty.
All right, so now here's a question. What's going to stop you from just running through? Like, is it too hard to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, the thing about the Locust Horde that you have to realize, and I'll just move into the next room here, is that the Locust Horde are monsters. This isn't a World War II game. You're not shooting Germans or allies. It's basically, these guys are monsters, and it'll take more than a clip to bring them down. So you can't just sort of pop them once in the head and move on. You have to take cover, get position, and throw a lot of bullets their way.
All right, and also I want to see some chainsaw action.
Oh, okay, well I can do that for you, that's
all right,
no problem.
chainsaw action.
Let's slide over here in the cover, get an angle on them, and then we just rev up the chainsaw, and there's some chainsaw goodness.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for bringing this game by. It is only for the 360, is that
That's correct, the 360 exclusive.
Okay, and this is coming out when?
Emergence Day 2006.
Emergence Day 2000. When is Emergence Day?
We'll see when the Locust Horde breaks through from the surface of the earth.
All right.
Enemy Territory Quake Wars.
Very nice, very nice. The spiritual successor to
Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, of course.
Very nice.
Enemy Territory Quake Wars is based in the Quake universe, and this is the Strogg invasion of Earth. So we're talking about 2065, about 60 years in the future. And as such, it's like a predecessor to Quake 2. And the great thing about this is that we can take the team play that we had in Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, but have asymmetry between the humans, the Global Defense Force,
right,
and the Strogg with their kind of advanced alien technology. So these guys, when they're using their items and stuff, they work very differently from the enemy team. I mean, as a good example, the GDF medic is a standard medic.
Right.
He runs around and revives teammates, gives out health, he can call in supply drops, so a big cargo plane comes overhead and drops stuff off on parachutes. But, you know, his main role is pretty traditional. The Strogg technician is kind of similar. He has to keep his teammates alive.
Right.
But what really makes him different is that the way he gets Stroyan, the stuff he gives out to people, is to stab them when they're lying on the ground with a huge Stroyan spike, suck all of the goo out of them, convert it into Stroyan, and then give it out to his teammates. The things that's really different for Enemy Territory Quake Wars is that we have some elements of the game that are somewhat like real-time strategy games. You can actually build up your base, call in Magog sky cranes that will deliver fire support like big strategic strike missiles, and then the field ops class can be on the front line actually directing fire from the strategic strike missile into the enemy.
When's the game coming out, Paul?
Well, we're shooting for 2006, but you know, it's an id Software game, and I mean, it's not, there's no like a secret date, and we're not telling anybody.
I mean, you get to say like when it's done by proxy.
We get to say when it's finished.
When it's finished,
right.
What we wanted to do was, you know, take the best of what was in medieval and combine it with the new tech and the best of Rome, and you know, put that together and kind of polish it all up, and really the whole thing goes to the next level, which, you know, hopefully the people are seeing on the stands today. We go back to, as you say, the medieval, the Dark Ages in Europe, and we kind of start about the 1100s and go through to, you know, and they start out kind of in the Crusades, and guys wearing chainmail and you know, and armor and like buckets on their heads.
Lots of crosses everywhere.
Lots of crosses everywhere. All the way through to like the invention of gunpowder, and you know, so you end up with like muskets and cannons and all that sort of stuff, right through to the discovery of the New World, so discovering America, and right at the end of the game you get to battle against the Aztecs. Yep. Well, basically the campaign is there to you know, that's your overall goal and objective, is really to dominate as many regions as you can. So on the campaign, you'll upgrade your cities and you'll build buildings inside them. Those buildings will help you train troops to create big armies to be able to go across and then attack other guys. You know, so we wanted to make sure that all of the guys looked individually. You know, individual, so you know they've got separate bodies, they've got separate arms, you know, they've got individual helmets, and so you know, when you look at them, they're all kind of, you know, different. They also animate differently, so they're all kind of, you know, individual that way. And so the AI on the individual soldiers, we kind of up that as well, you know. So they'll actually individually target, they'll look around for their next opponent. Yeah, we pretty much, you know, stripped it right down, you know. And we bolted in some new graphics and then built it all back up from the bottom up.
When is the game coming out, Ken?
The game's coming out in November this year, so mid-November we'll be ready for the holiday season. So
awesome. We hope to see more of it as the months come.
Conan Hyborian Adventure. It's a MMO slash online action RPG. We feature lots of action, advanced melee fighting, deep melee fighting, riding action, mounted combat, all the jinx and bells of modern MMOs, basically. But we also feature like 20 levels of single-player game in the beginning where you can really, really get to know your character before you're plunged into the massive MMO universe. And you basically start out as a galley slave and you don't know really what's happened to you because your memories have been wiped. But what you'll find out is that your fate is tied to that of the king, which is Conan at this time.
Now let's get the quick disclaimer out of the way. This is not your Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan, correct?
No, it's not. It's a modern Conan.
How do you translate something as brutal and as visceral as like a Conan battle into an online world?
Howard did make something which was very brutal, dark, lush. And secondly, we have gone for the M rating with this game.
You have?
Yeah, we have. And
Nice.
I mean, that's the first for an MMO to do that, and really wanted to embrace that rating too, and it's perfect for this license.
Another aspect of MMOs, some people like playing them by themselves, other people like running around in crews.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys have an interesting way to appeal to both.
You can be solo in this game quite a lot, and we don't ever force people to like only do one thing. We try to give people a variety of options. I mean, I think that's the hallmark of MMOs.
It's coming out
Q4 this year.
and it's going to be a Vista game, I hear.
Yeah, Vista Showcase. Yeah, we're really proud of that. The only MMO being Vista Showcase.
So the first thing I want to know is, you said before that you want the game to feel like a movie.
Yeah.
How have you made it feel like a movie? What have you done?
I try to combine just action, emotional feeling, change, and conflict. So yeah, that's the first inspiration.
And there are 7 characters in the game. We've seen Infi in a lot of the movies so far.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about Infi, her story?
Yeah, so she's appearing on the screen now, and she's the female human being soldier. So she's a knight, and her father was killed by goblin soldier when she was young, very young. She has the brother. This is company. So if you play the Infi, you had your brother as he support her. So, but there is some stories between her brother,
So my final question for you is, when is this coming to the United States?
It's a late summer.
Late summer. Well, thank you very much. This
Thank
game
you.
looks
Thank you,
beautiful.
Kaylee.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Yeah.
You've got Wolverine, Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, all in the same game. And they're taking on the forces of Doctor Doom and a newly formed Masters of Evil. It's one of the largest alliances of supervillains in Marvel's history. It's an action RPG. Basically, the entire game is based around the character's powers. We really want to make sure signature powers are always showing up in the game. So it's really all about that action and that destruction. And on top of that, tons of RPG elements. I mean, upgrading your character's powers. You can upgrade the suits they wear. You can upgrade a brand new Marvel team you can create.
Is there co-op? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. There's 4-player co-op, both online and offline. And what's great about it is we actually made it competitive. So the way that works is you can play every single level the whole game through, from the very first level to that last level, all with 3 other buddies playing co-op. But now it's actually competitive. You compete for the kills, you compete for the experience you get. I mean, the rule is whoever makes the kill gets the experience. So, I mean, I tend to prefer guys like Wolverine or Thing, the big bruisers, and they actually, it's easy for them to kind of like jump in there and get the kills and all the experience right away. But a guy like Doug over here, he tends to be kind of sneaky, so he'll use just Spider-Man and kind of snipe the guys from you just as you're about to kill them and steal the kills.
If you own a game system, which
Yes.
you should be if you were watching this, you will be able to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance at some point in some form. When exactly you said this year?
We're planning for, absolutely, a fall release with a PS3 launch. So
is that only the PS3 version, or is that all of them?
all of them this fall.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you said it takes place after Wind Waker, so is it the same Link as in Wind Waker?
Link is, on his pirate ship with his mates.
Nice.
Something happens. He gets knocked overboard, washes up on shore, and you kind of take off from there, going to look for your ship and the rest of your mates. In this game, you don't use any of the buttons or the control pad.
Really?
It's all done with stylus. So I go ahead and run like that, and then if I slide it forward, I do my Link roll. And then if I want to go ahead and attack somebody, I can just tap on them, and I'll nail them. You now, with your touchscreen, plot your course of where you want to take the ship, and then go. So while you're going, you can actually grab your cannon. When anybody comes along, you just tap where you want to shoot, and you're firing your cannon all over the place.
It lends itself perfectly for the DS, all the play mechanics. It's pretty exciting.
I know you guys are very busy. We appreciate you coming by like this. Thank you very much for dying so much, James.
Hey, no problem, man.
Now, as you were just saying, this is not just like a Mortal Kombat compilation game. There's all kinds of new fighting.
Yeah, it's more stuff than we've ever put in any Mortal Kombat game by a factor of 3. Easily 60 characters, huge create a character mode, play the characters online, conquest mode, hidden mode, which we're going to be announcing sometime in August. We're very excited about it. We've also added, the air combat and the parry moves and just a number of new fighting mechanics on top of the fighting game that we had already. Here we're going to get some of the more creative fatality moves to give you a demo of how that works. We've introduced the death traps and the deception, and we're really expanding on it here. Paul's going to show us the fatality system here.
All right.
There's multiple steps here. So you'll knee him in the face, tear his heart out, punch him in the gut, pull his sword out, rip his arm off, cut his head off. And we're also have a create a character mode, which is a very extensive create a character mode we're very excited about. You can, and also, not only define the look of the character, but you'd also define what each character's fighting style. You name the fighting style, and then you also can take that character and play it online. So we're really excited about people playing online combat against characters they've never seen before because they were created by people all over the country. The conquest mode is specifically for this Taven character here, which is a character that you play in the game, and you are basically trying to, there's like a contest between the two to see who's going to be the heir to the throne of the game. You know what, it comes out October of this year, PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, and it's easily the biggest Mortal Kombat game.
God of War 2, what's the story? How come Kratos can't just kill everyone with his mind now because he's a God of War?
Well, what we're doing with the second game is essentially picking up exactly where the first game left off. Instead of trying to do some secondary adventure where it's like 100 years later, you've just killed Ares, Athena's made you the God of War, and start the second game. So very quickly you learn how shady the gods are and kind of you fall from grace essentially.
Nice. And Kratos, of course, still a bad mamma jamma, as always.
He's madder in this game, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lot more
pissed.
pissed.
It's a darker game than the first one, actually.
He's just going to a different place, just getting a little angrier? Or?
Yeah.
The tagline for this game is "The End Begins," and he's really starting, I think, to feel how fucked with he's been all these years.
Right.
And I think you start to sort of see that when you play the game. It really does feel like it's still God of War, but I don't think I would have done a game sort of as nuanced and dark as God of War 2, and it really is neat just for me as a fan of the medium of video games to go, there really is a difference depending on who's sort of at the creative helm.
What kind of boss fights are we going to see?
The big thing for us is we sort of have a bar that we don't ever want to fall below, so the number of bosses is never all that important to us. It's the quality of them, so if any of them are ever falling below that bar, we're going to pull it or put extra resources on it. The same sort of mentality as we had in the first game. It's going to start out big, and it's just going to keep going.
And the game is coming out
February 2007.